Okay, so my camera did die, so I came back. Okay, so now I have my dough mixture here, and it's already ready. I had to start with the mixer because I have a hand mixer. It was all trying to clump up into the mixers. So I started mixing by hand. So once it starts pulling away from the bowl, like you see here, and it's just winding around my fork, you want to go ahead and start flouring your surface and get it onto your counter and start rolling around.
That's why I stopped buying a lot of people turkey.
So I just want to make sure my surface is dry, free of water, which it already is. I'm just double checking it. And please excuse my background noise behind me. Get my dough out. And my dough is very soft. I mean, if you could keep adding more flour to it if you want, but I'm not going to do that. And it should be very sticky. It may stick to your counter a little bit, but that's okay. That's why you got the flour down. Once you got it all kneaded up to where you want it to be, you're going to start foaming your rolls and place it in your grease dish. You can grease your dish with Pam spray, vegetable oil, butter, whichever one you prefer. Then I'm going to create a honey butter mixture. And not just do that with some unsalted butter and some honey. If you want to use regular butter, you can, because regular butter has salt in it. So you'll have a honey salted butter for your mixture to go on top once the bread is done. So I'm going to finish kneading this and get this where I need it to be. And then I'll show you how I roll them and put them in the oven. By the way, you're going to put this in the oven for 375 degrees and bake it for 12 to 14 minutes. Then once they come out, you're going to brush it with your honey butter mixture. I have my dough here on the counter, and I got it all how I want it to be rolled out, and it's not as sticky as it was, but it's still soft. Put a little flour on my hand. It's still soft, as you can see. So now and I know in the beginning I said roll it and put it in there, but I left one step out. In order for your dough to sit and process and get it to be fluffy, you need to let it sit for at least 60 minutes or an hour. Let me not say 60 minutes. I hate when people say 60 minutes, 90 minutes. Just say an hour. Just say an hour. But anyways, I'm going to grease my bowl with my Pam spray. Because you want your bowl to be greased. You can grease it with whatever you want to grease it with. And you're going to sit this in your warm place for that hour. Or you can let it sit for 30 minutes. I would advise that you make your bread 2 hours before you're trying to make whatever you're making for dinner or whatever you're using it for, because this is time consuming and it takes a lot of preparation, as you saw in the beginning, because the preparation come into letting the dough sit. So what I just did was I just put flour on my hands to pick up the dough so I can pick it up off of the counter, and I just rolled it around in my hand like so. And as you can see, this is how my dough looks. And now I'm going to place my dough in my pan. I'm going to cover it with my plastic wrap, and then I'm going to turn on my stove light, and I'm going to set it on my heated stove for my 1 hour. And it should rise within that time frame that it's sitting on the stove by the heat. You want to make sure that the plastic is on tight, because if it's not on tight and air seeps in, it won't rise up like it needs to be. Once it rises up, you're just gonna poof it back down and let it sit for 30 more minutes. Then after those 30 minutes, then you go ahead and start rolling your dough into your balls and place it into your oven. All right, so we're gonna let this sit under my stove, light as I stated. In the meantime, while my dough is rising, I'm gonna go ahead and start with my asparagus. Tonight we're having baked chicken, mashed potatoes with gravy, asparagus, and geese rolls. So I have my asparagus here already rinsed off. So now I'm going to go ahead and get my ends of my asparagus chopped off. So you don't want to keep this portion at the bottom. And we only mainly eat the top of the asparagus anyways. So I prefer fresh asparagus. I don't want that canned asparagus. Don't like that. And you can cut it on your chopping board. I have a chopping board. I just did not bring it over here. Feeling lazy at the moment. See, so I cut like, this is the top of it. I cut like that much off of it. I mainly cut the part off that don't look well to me. That don't look that good to me. So this is how they look. If you can see that. And I might cut a little bit more off of here because that's too thick. I'm not going to eat that. It's going to be a waste. So I got it like that. So throw the portion that you don't want to eat, throw that out. And I know I'm probably cutting off a lot. Some people probably saying I should eat that. I'm not going to eat that. My husband's not going to eat that. My son definitely is not going to eat it. I can barely get him to eat this in the first place, but I try. So I sprayed my foil paper with some vegetable spray. So now I'm going to just spread these back out like so. I'm going to season it with some garlic salt, garlic powder, and onion powder. And then I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of my olive oil on there. Uh-oh. And then I'm going to pop it in the oven for about 15 minutes. You can also put some Parmesan cheese on top of it if you want, or mozzarella cheese. Prefer white, not yellow. It won't taste right. And then you just roll it around like this to get the seasons all on there. You can actually smell it while you're doing it. And place it in your oven for 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. Up to your tenderness. We like it soft, so I'm going to do the 20 minutes. Not going to show you how to do mashed potatoes because that's just easy. Everybody should know how to do mashed potatoes. If not, if you're looking to know how I do my mashed potatoes, just let me know in the comment section below and I'll go ahead and do a video on that. Until then, I'm just going to show you just a preview of all the food put together. And dry my hands. And we're going to put this in the oven like I said. Oh, and I did say sprinkle this on there. I forgot about that. So you just go across here with it. Just put it on there. Then you can roll it around again. Just spread it back out. I'm going to put a little bit of cheese on some of it, but not all of it. If if you all can see that, but my bread looks like it's rising a little bit. I don't know if you can see it that clearly, but I can definitely see that it's rising. And it only been about maybe 10-15 minutes so far. So it's up to you. Like I said, if it start rising up higher, you can go ahead. And if it's like 30 minutes, you can go ahead and take it out and start rolling. If you really want it more fluffy and all of that good stuff, then go ahead and take it off and go ahead and let it sit in there for the whole hour. If not, you can go ahead and take it out at 30 minutes. So I'm just going to let mine sit in there and wait for it to finish rising. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and make my mashed potatoes and gravy. I am using the store-bought Idaho mashed potatoes, buttery style. This is the one that we like, but I'm going to make my gravy from scratch. So if you want to see how I make my gravy from scratch, please also put that in the comment section. I'm not going to film that portion. Minutes. This is what your asparagus will look like. Soft, not burnt, but just right for me. I don't want anything hard. I don't want to be crunchy. So now we're gonna go ahead and check on our bread. So it seems to me my bread has gotten high to where I want it to be. So I'm just gonna push this back down. See how high it got? I'm gonna push it back down, and now I'm gonna start rolling them and placing them in my greased dish I have right here. I have my gravy right here on. I just turned it down to low, and I have my mashed potatoes going here as well. So I'm going to show you how we get the dinner rolls rolled up and place them in the oven, as I said, for 12 to 14 minutes. So we're going to do that and be back and show you in a bit. Okay, so now I have my rice dough here. As you can see, it rised up as I showed you. Now I have the plastic off. So now I'm going to place this back on my counter. I'm going to sprinkle my surface again. Spread that around. I still had picked up some few pieces when I was rolling. Throw those big chunks out. And make sure you flour your hands up. Just gonna go like this with the dough. Just pull off however much you want to create the roll. Roll it around in the dough like so. If you have cookie cutters, you can do it with that too if you want. I'm not doing it with that.